Purex laundry detergent, 50-ounce bottle, only $4.79. All stores open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., Sunday 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
Live from Bermuda Broadcasting, this is ZBM TV9 News.
Good evening, everyone. It's Wednesday, March 14th. I'm Jasmine Patterson, and thanks for joining us tonight. The island's public bus service was temporarily suspended for today as mechanics downed tools over issues with their working conditions. As a result of the industrial action, bus operators were unable to service certain routes, causing disruption. However, union leaders and the Transport Minister, Deputy Premier Walter Raban, says their meeting ended with the decision to resume bus service by 3 p.m. in preparation for school runs. Here are the details. Around 10 bus services were affected this afternoon due to industrial action taken by mechanics within the Department of Public Transportation. The Deputy Premier and Minister responsible for the department, Walter Raban, says he was made aware of the situation this morning.
This was not a strike. It was merely a work stoppage for a period of time, of which a resolution has been found, and I'm pleased to state to the public that as of around 3 o'clock today, efforts were made to resume fully the available bus service for our schools and for our commuters. As of 5 o'clock, certainly those who are going home this evening will have normal bus service.
According to Mr. Raban, bus operators were not necessarily a part of the mechanics' industrial action.
Buses weren't able to be refueled because the persons who do the refueling were also a part of the work stoppage, so that did not allow buses to move through the yard and get refueled and go back out. At no point were the operators who drive the buses engaged in any industrial action or work stoppage. It was because of the process of refueling buses could not be done, so buses could not leave the yard to resume their runs.
Management and union leaders were able to find a resolution.
I made contact immediately with the leadership of the Bermuda Industrial Union, Mr. Chris Ferbert, and we both made sure that efforts were made to work with the staff and the management to bring the situation to an end.
The minister, however, did not reveal in detail exactly what concerns the mechanics have raised.
I have particularly made a commitment to the workers up there to improve the conditions that they work in, whether it be in the garage or in other aspects of DPT facility. So I'm trying to work very hard with all concerned up at DPT to make the conditions better. And whatever processes need to be improved, we have made a commitment to do that.
What kind of conditions do you need?
Well, things like it's an old facility, like any old building. Like this building may have age on it. You need to do things to keep it up to scratch.
The first cruise ship of the season docked at the Royal Naval Dockyard today. However, we understand most of the delays were felt at the main bus terminal in Hamilton. We reached out to the Bermuda Industrial Union for comment, but were unable to get a response by news time. Will Trevor Munez returned to the House of Assembly for the final sitting before the Easter break on Friday. It's understood discussions are being held with the aim of having Mr. Munez present. Mr. Munez was asked to leave the chamber by House Speaker Dennis Lister during last Friday's sitting as he sought to respond to allegations made against him by National Security Minister Wayne Keynes. MP Michael Scott, the junior minister for Legal Affairs, maintains the concern expressed by Mr. Keynes and which had to do with the court matter against Leahy Clinic brought by the former OBA government were not unfounded.
What really went on and why was $4 million is the figure that's being looked at. Certainly we know it was 3.5, and as Attorney General, our Attorney General, Senator Simmons indicated, she estimates the legal costs that Leahy will be required to of us, you and I, the taxpayer, is around $1 million. So a number of issues arose. Singularly, the issue that arose of the three, if I could put it that way, would be the issue about the treaty and how the AMLAT, the Mutual Legal Assistance Treaty, was engaged, and not in a good way, because, as the Premier indicated, how did intelligence from a criminal investigation that is always the subject of an exchange under AMLAT between government to government about criminal proceedings. How did the intelligence in that context end up in a civil proceeding in a Boston court? Who authorized the transmission of that sensitive criminal intelligence, that's all it was, to the lawyers in Boston? And it's a question of connecting the dots. The Attorney General, then Minister of Justice, instructed the attorneys. He would have seen the pleadings. He would have authorized and signed off on those pleadings going forward. And the pleadings could have only come from Bermuda.
Contacted about Mr. Scott's statement, Mr. Munez told us any response from him will come on the floor of the House of Assembly. We've got much more news coming up after the break. Stay with us.
Sears is Bermuda's largest home appliance store with over 200 appliances in our showroom. We have refrigerators and freezers, gas ovens and electric ranges, washers and dryers. Sears has a wide selection of craftsman's tools and accessories. Beautify your home with our lawn and garden tools. We have everything you need for outdoor entertaining. Located at 41 Victoria Street, Sears is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sears, reliable delivery, quality service, and everyday low prices.
The Department of Youth, Sport, and Recreation presents Victorious, Today's Girls, Tomorrow's Future, a celebration of females in sports. Under the distinguished patronage of the Honorable Premier, E. David Burt JPMP, the 37th Annual Sports Awards celebration will be held on Saturday, March 17th at the Fairmont Southampton Resorts Mid-Ocean Amphitheater, starting at 7 p.m. Tickets are $15 and available at the Department of Youth, Sports, and Recreation, located on the 3rd floor of the Craig Appen House, number 8 Wesley Street, Hamilton. For more information, call 295-0855.
Governor John Rankin has announced the appointment of the next deputy governor as Mrs. Allison Crockett, who will take over from the current deputy governor, Ginny Ferson, when she leaves Bermuda in August this year. Mrs. Crockett is a career diplomat who joined Britain's diplomatic service in October 2001, having worked previously for local government social service departments and for an NGO. Mrs. Crockett is currently head of the anti-corruption unit in the Foreign and Commonwealth Office, where she's been instrumental in drafting international aspects of the UK government's anti-corruption strategy. She was previously posted in Vienna, where she worked on programs that included counter-narcotics, justice reform, and transnational organized crime. She will be accompanied by her long-term partner, Pete, and has 2 grown daughters. Well, relief for residents of Mission Road in Paget as the Ministry of Public Works acts on a judgment handed down by Chief Justice Dr. Ian Kawley. That roadway is, in fact, a public road. There had been a long-standing issue as to whether this was the case, as the owner of a business operating in the neighborhood had argued that it was not. This resulted in cars said to be associated with that business being parked along the roadway, in the words of some nearby residents, posing a threat to safety and creating a nuisance. Today, Works and Engineering staff moved in to clear the roadway of those vehicles, but not before allegedly being confronted by a resident. Asked to comment on the situation, a spokesperson for the Ministry of Works told us, quote, "The government received a signed judgment by the Chief Justice on Tuesday, March 6, confirming the Ministry of Public Works' assertion that Mission Road is in fact a public road. As such, the ministry issued an abatement notice to the proprietor's lawyers to have all vehicles removed within 5 days, or the government would remove them and charge them for doing so. The owner did not remove the vehicles. So this morning, the Minister of Public Works directed Works and Engineering staff to remove them to the government quarry, where a daily storage fee will be charged until they are collected," end quote. Well, mostly gentle winds, a fair amount of sunshine, and little rain. Today's weather has been pretty kind, but will it continue? Let's find out from our friends at AccuWeather.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
The BF&M Insurance Group is pleased to bring you tonight's AccuWeather forecast. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brittany Boyer, and well, today, not quite as windy as yesterday, but unfortunately, it looks like we are going to see those winds picking up once again. Here we have on our radar, you can see one front off to our east, and there will be yet another front moving through tonight. It's going to be relatively weak, but it's still going to kick up the winds, and it's also going to bring a couple of spotty showers as well. So here we have a closer look at the island. You can see the moisture just off to our west there. That'll be passing through overnight tonight. Looking at some of the conditions across the island, temperatures are actually exactly where they should be for this time of the year. In the upper 60s right now, humidity currently sitting at 61%, and we are looking at winds out of the south and west, 12 to 16 knots. Those winds will be increasing as much as 15 to 20 plus knots as we head into the next 24 hours here. Water temperature currently sitting at a brisk 65 degrees, and we're still having some issues out on the water, especially outside of the reef. You can see that waves outside of the reef are still upwards of 14 feet. Looks like by the time we head into this weekend, we'll start to see the seas getting a little bit better for anybody that might be venturing out there by Saturday or Sunday. All right, so here we go for the forecast tonight. Mostly cloudy skies. Again, the winds will be picking up with that front that'll be moving through. A couple of showers for tonight. Temperatures falling into the upper 50s. Marine alerts, well, we've got them once again. A small craft warning is in place through Friday. So anybody that operates small craft, if you do plan on heading out on the water, know that it's going to be very choppy. Again, especially if you find yourself outside of the reef. Your tidal times, high tide 1 coming in at 7:39 tonight, and our high tide 2 coming just after 8 o'clock on Thursday. And yeah, we're almost to the weekend, and as we head into the next couple of days, our temperatures are going to kind of be on that roller coaster ride. Upper 60s today. Tomorrow we fall into the low 60s. Times of clouds and sunshine with a passing shower or two. We're not expecting any significant rain, but there will be some showers. Limited sunshine throughout the day, and again, it will be windy outside. Our low temperature for your Thursday, right around 60 degrees. And hey, if you plan on doing any traveling, here's a look at the forecast for tomorrow. Toronto, up there in Canada, 38 degrees, clouds and sunshine. New York City, not bad of a day, 44 degrees, so seasonably cool. Boston in the low 40s, and down toward Atlanta, temperatures are going to be rebounding. They've only been in the 40s for the last day or so. So some improvements there in the southeast. As we look at some of the current conditions across the islands, you can see that we have some showers around Trinidad, Barbados, and also in Jamaica, but temperatures are feeling all right in the 80s. Your extended forecast here, well, taking a look at your Thursday, again, a few passing showers possible, still windy outside, and we can't rule out a couple of showers on Friday, but by Friday, the temperatures are on the upward trend right again, right around 70 degrees. Saturday, a little bit cooler. Enjoy your Saturday. Conditions improving on the water, but looks like we'll have some more showers as we head into Sunday and early next week.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
Bermuda's only fiber to the home network is here, thanks to Digicel. But what does this mean? Fiber to the home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. This means you'll get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway. You can be one of the first to enjoy it. Call us on 500-5000.
Jane just got diagnosed with dementia. Her doctor recommended home care service. Jane chose Bermuda in-home care, a full home care service with certified dementia care specialists available 24/7. Jane and her family was extremely happy when the caregiver showed up on time. The caregiver prepared her meals, reminded her to take medication, helped her with personal hygiene care, and solved puzzles with her. The family chooses Lighthouse Medical Supplies to set up all her durable medical equipments. Call Bermuda In-Home Care, 705-4424. Your one-stop shop for all your home care services and medical supplies. Taking the hassle out of healthcare, call now, 705-4424.
In a marathon night at the Somerset Cricket Club that ended at 12:35 a.m. this morning, the finalists for the Bermuda Football Association's FA Challenge Cup final is now set. Only 2 goals came in regulation time in the 2 games, with both games decided by kicks from the penalty mark. In the opener, the Southampton Rangers remained unbeaten this season as they advanced to the FA Challenge Cup final, defeating Paget Lions 5-3 on kicks from the penalty mark after the 2 teams finished deadlocked at 1-1 after 120 minutes. The Paget Lions went ahead in the first half with a goal from Dion Stovall, who outpaced the Southampton Rangers defense and calmly scored past an advancing Southampton Rangers goalkeeper Ajay Daniels. The Southampton Rangers would equalize in the second half when Dante Brinkman scored a free kick past Jason Smith. With the match still deadlocked at 1-1, it was decided by the kicks. The second match was decided by sudden death kicks from the penalty mark as Robin Hood defeated the PHC Zebras 4-3. A penalty save in the first half by Dale Eve kept the scoreline at 0-0, diving to his right to deny Secoy Robinson. Neither team would beat the goalkeeper for the remainder of the match nor in extra time, and after they were still level after 5 kicks, it needed a sudden death kick from the penalty mark to decide a winner, with player coach John Barry Newsom scoring for Robin Hood to advance. Meanwhile, Dante Levrock has guided JK Navra Trends to the top of the Estonia First Division standings following his winner against Taliana Kaliv. Levrock would score the winner from a header in the 83rd minute as JK Navra Trans now has 7 points from 3 games. Bermuda boxers Andre Lamb and Tyler Christopher both went down on the same day in the Central American and Caribbean boxing qualifiers in Mexico. Lamb went down in a technical knockout against his opponent from Guatemala, while Christopher went down to his opponent from Panama in a split decision. Nicholas Pilgrim and Caleb Ingham competed in the 2018 Sarasota Youth Elite Cup Triathlon. The pair competed in the boys 13 to 15 age group, which saw the competitors compete over a 375-meter swim, a 12.2K bike ride, and a 2.5K run. Pilgrim finished 10th, stopping the clock in a time of 34:55. He was clocked at 5:26 on the swim, 19:15 on the bike, and 9:10 on the run. Ingham finished 14th at the time of 35:17. He was clocked at 5:29 over the swim course, 19:03 on the bike course, and 9:33 on the run course. The Continental Hockey qualifiers for the 2018 Youth Olympic Games continued in Argentina, with Bermuda's Donovan Simmons back in action on day 2. Simmons was a reserve umpire for the match between the Dominican Republic and Brazil that saw Brazil pick up a 4-0 win. In mixed majors bowling league action at the Work Lanes, it saw the Mix-Ups defeat the Movers and Shakers 14-6. The Troublemakers went down 17-3 to the Minimax Forwarders, while Spear Change defeated the Warriors 15-5. The Activators went down 18-2 to Fight Back, and the Unpredictables defeated the Untouchables 12-8. I'm Earl Baisden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
You can count on us.
Red potatoes, 5-pound bag, hot price $3.99. Fresh certified Angus beef, top sirloin steak, $9.49 per pound. Libby's Vienna sausages, original or chicken, 4.6-ounce tin, only 69 cents. Pepperidge Farm Goldfish snacks, hot price only $1.99. Old Time butter sliced bread, 24-ounce loaf, hot price $4.59. All stores open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
The whole concept came from the collaboration with BF&M and the America's Cup. The Endeavour program is the legacy of the 35th America's Cup that was here in Bermuda in June. And we've continued the charity now operating in Bermuda. And going forward, we thought, what a great opportunity for children on the autism spectrum. And hence we actually developed the No Limits program. They really do benefit from this kind of outdoor experience, this environment. You know, just yesterday going off the east end of Bermuda, I mean, they wouldn't have done that. Not many children in Bermuda have done that. And just them learning to take control of a large bit of transportation that they're doing at that age, and they may never get that opportunity.
That's where you see the biggest progress is whether they were looking at their hand steering, you know, now they're looking forwards and actually looking where they're going, because they've realized, oh, I know where my hand is. I can do this without looking at my hand.
We are so grateful for the Endeavour program and what it has done for the students on the autism spectrum.
From the winner of the latest Oscar for Best Picture to a short film about turtles less than 2 minutes long, this year's Bermuda Film Festival has a huge range of cinematic highlights. The organizers of the event, which starts this weekend, say they have the best ever selection of movies, with a particular emphasis on short films and those made by women. Hal Davis reports.
Based on a true story, Watu Wote shows how far films first seen at the Bermuda Film Festival can go. Shown at the festival in 2017, it made the shortlist for this year's Oscars, just losing out on the Academy Award for Best Short Film last week. The winning film, Silent Child, tells the story of a 4-year-old girl's struggle with deafness. The Oscar winner will play at the festival this year. And there's a very good reason why some of the most widely praised short films come to Bermuda.
We are qualifying Academy Award for short film. Who wins the short film here in Bermuda automatically goes to the Academy Awards for them to jury. Also, it's for filmmakers in Bermuda, young people aspiring to be filmmakers and actors. We're trying to touch them, bring them together via the Bermuda International Film Festival.
I want to go to the East Coast.
But while Bermuda can serve as a pathway to the Oscars for short films, full-length movies are of course also playing, including Best Film nominee Lady Bird.
You know, with your work ethic, just go to City College and then to jail, and then back to City College, and then maybe you'd learn to pull yourself up and not expect everybody to do everything.
Written and directed by Greta Gerwig, it's the story of a young woman's attempts to deal with growing up and her relationship with her mother.
I want you to be the very best version of yourself that you can be.
It's a film with a special significance for this festival.
This year, our theme is Women in Film, and we are highlighting women lead actresses. A lot of our films have women lead actresses in them, and also women directors. The first feature film that we start off with is Lady Bird, which was filmed by a woman director. She was nominated for an Oscar, and also the lead actress is an Irish young lady who plays an American rebellious teenager.
He sees me as I am.
Other widely praised films, like The Shape of Water, which won the Oscar for Best Film this year, are also being shown. But the festival organisers also stress they're looking to help Bermudian talent reach the big screen. This is Bermudian at University, one of a series of short films about studying in the UK, directed by Kevin Miners. It's one of 10 films being shown in the Bermovie Shorts section.
What's up?
So what role does the festival play in encouraging Bermudian talent?
Well, I think it's immensely important because the industry in Bermuda is starting to grow, and this is a great platform for you. Because our festival is Oscar qualifying, you never know who could see your movie. So if you submit, who knows what could happen.
All told, 10 full-length feature films will be playing at the festival, and more than 80 shorts, with the organisers saying this year has the best, most varied selection in the entire 21-year history of the festival.
What I'd really like is to be on Math Olympiad.
But math isn't something you're terribly strong in.
That we know of yet.
The Bermuda Conference of Seventh-day Adventists is calling on the public to turn out for its health fair called 8 Keys to Reversing Obesity and Type 2 Diabetes, taking place on Sunday, March 18th. Recent data reveals Bermuda has one of the highest rates of obesity and diabetes in the world. The health fair is free to attend, and Dr. Leonard Gibbons, the church's health ministries director, believes it's time for the island to do something about the problem.
We believe that the best way to tackle it is to change lifestyle. You know, often we look at diabetes as though it's a problem and obesity as though it's a problem, but in reality they are symptoms. And the underlying problem in many cases is the lifestyle that created it. So how we eat, how we sleep, how we talk, how we communicate, our social lives, all of those things impact on the quality of our health. And the weakest point is the one that comes to the surface, you know, and for some people, they eat horrible, but they don't gain weight, you know. But most people who eat horrible tend to gain weight, you know. So the weakest point is where it's evident, but that's not the real problem. The problem is the lifestyle. And if we address the underlying cause, many of the diseases go away.
Seventh-day Adventists around the world are known for their dedication to a healthy lifestyle and diet. The church's core principles for healthy living will be on showcase to the public. You can even get a taste of some healthy foods.
One of the things we're doing, and this is a prime example of that, we're hosting this health fair, that will take place from 12:30 all the way to 5 o'clock on the 18th. And it's free to the public, and we're providing, giving people a look at the 8 principles of health that we believe are foundational to preventing disease and also helping to restore people who are unwell. So that's something what we do, and we do things all through the year. We have, a number of churches around the island, and we have a number of health programs that we invite the community to, everywhere from cooking classes to exercise classes to, anything to do with lifestyle. And so that's something of what we do as a church.
So this health fair is not just a place where people can turn out to be assessed medically, but to gain some knowledge.
Yeah, that's the whole intention of it. We'll start with sort of a diabetes risk assessment profile. Then we will feed them a healthy, delicious meal that can actually improve blood sugar control and help them with weight loss. And then there will be 2 presentations specifically related to what we're dealing with in Bermuda.
Again, this event, hosted by the Bermuda Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, takes place at the Bermuda Institute Auditorium in Warwick on Sunday, March 18th from 12:30 to 5 p.m. Well, what makes a fish cake, as we say, well? The island's 2 fish cake kings, Dale Butler and Rodney Smith, are looking to answer that very question in 2 weeks' time at their annual Bermuda National Fish Cake Competition. The 2 culinary icons invaded our news department with samples of their famous fish cakes, causing quite a stir among our hungry staff. Here's Terai Trott with our story.
Rodney Smith and Dale Butler have been an item on the cooking stage for many years.
So after 20 years of doing this competition together and swapping the hat almost every year, or sometimes he would win for 2 years, I might win for 2 years, we decided to step out and allow Bermudians who every day say they can make a better fish cake than us to enter the competition.
The annual competition to take place at the Leopards Club on Thursday, March 22nd, will be open to both amateurs and professionals, with the 5 independent judges set to crown 2 people the Fish Cake King and Queens.
There have been numerous amateurs who make a much better fish cake than some professionals. And so we recognize the numerous housewives, gentlemen in the community that did not go to culinary arts school. The professional is one who has professional training, working in a restaurant or a hotel in Bermuda. And we have some good chefs there too, and they have entered the competition in the past. So now this provides them with a golden opportunity to see who is the very best in Bermuda, the amateur who hasn't been to school or the professional who has.
Yes, there are some ordinary Bermudians that really make excellent fish cakes, and they would put their skill up against the best that we have in many of our fanciest restaurants, and I don't doubt that there are many Bermudians that make a delicious fish cake.
Fish cakes aren't just a meal choice, it's the epitome of Bermudian culture.
This is all part of Bermuda's Easter tradition. It fits into a major part of our culture, and out of it Bermudians have developed not only the kite tradition, we used to play marbles and skip and tops.
As for last year's competition,
well, as usual, I won again. And what I've been finding is that I take orders for fish cakes every year, and there's a mysterious address that keeps showing up from Angle Street that's been ordering my fish cakes. I'm suspicious that it might be Mr. Butler.
Okay. To enter the competition, it's $15 for children under 16, $25 for adults, and entries can be made at the door at Leopards Club no later than 7 p.m. on the day of the competition, March 22nd. Such is the pressure to make the right fish cake that Mr. Smith has had to undertake extra caution when traveling around the island.
I buy my ingredients from several stores because I've noticed Mr. Butler sent people to follow me. And so I have to be careful. But I do want to say, from time to time, I do make them for nursing homes to help those who are confined to the nursing home. And I must say, I want to thank Butterfield and Velez. They have given ingredients.
I'd like to thank La Trattoria and Four Ways Inn, because the winner will have an opportunity to actually make their fish cakes in those two restaurants, and maybe one or two others as well. And they've been very generous.
Mr. Smith says he also has a PhD in the making of fish cakes. And to enter into the competition on Thursday, March 22nd, you should phone Mr. Butler on 595-9841. That's 595-9841. Fish cakes will be judged on taste, size, color, and presentation. Only codfish may be used, so no cheating. Oh, that's all we have for you this evening. I'm Jasmine Patterson, and thanks for watching. Good night.
Jasmine Patterson's wardrobe and makeup is provided by Gibbons Company.
Students across the nation walk out to protest gun violence as the Parkland shooting suspect